Happy New Year to everyone. Yes, I still have that fresh New Year smell in the air at my place, and I hope it lasts. I'm trying to extend it. By doing things like this, I've bought a really nice notebook. I bought it towards the end of December. I also bought some nice notebooks as a gift for family members and friends so that we can get inspired. I realized that I've never had a really nice notebook before, and I do a fair amount of writing. And so I finally decided to try to get, not an incredibly expensive notebook. I'm sure there's some that are like gilded in gold and bound with some rare animal hides or something like that. I didn't go that far, but I went down the rabbit hole a little bit. I went onto the notebooks group on Reddit and I tried to find some brand names to test out. And this is one that I got for myself. I also got a couple of dingbats, if you know that brand, for some of my family members. This is a Leuchtturm1917. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that name. It's a German brand. This is printed in Taiwan. And I want to show it to you in today's video because I want to get you inspired. And I think you should go out and buy yourself some nice resources, some nice materials that will get you eager to try to build a better life. That's what I'm doing with this notebook. I'm going to be writing down some lessons learned from my favorite teachers, leaders, influencers, stuff from books I'm reading, ideas, insights. I'm going to try to practice better handwriting, better record, and ideas keeping in this notebook during this year, 2025. As you can see, it's quite a big notebook. I wanted to try that. It's slim, but it's also quite large. The pages are quite large, and I'll show you this better in a minute. I'm going to show you like a desk view of this, but this is an A4 size piece of paper right here, so it's slightly larger than an A4 paper on all sides. So let's get into this. I'll show you it on the desk, and this will be like sort of a reaction video. I don't know much about notebooks. I'm not really a true connoisseur, so I probably couldn't explain things very well. This will just be a greenhorn or a newbie's review of getting one of these nice notebooks for the first time. So let's check it out. Okay, so here she is. Might have to give her a name or something. I'm starting to treat her like a member of the family. I don't know where she got a gender all of a sudden, but this is my new notebook, the Leuchtturm1917. I decided to go with the lined pages. The pages are also numbered. Here's a little band to keep it closed. And by the way, the size is great. I'm excited to try this size of notebook, which I've never had one quite so large before, but here's an A4 size of paper, which is 29.7 centimeters by 21 centimeters. As you can see, this notebook is slightly larger than that on all sides. The cover is hard, but not inflexible. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to try to bend that to show it to you guys a little bit. And it does have that amazing sort of lay flat technology, which I also am really excited about. I hate when notebooks can't really do that. Now, as we go inside, there's a place for your name and your address. The first page is quite thicker than the pages you would actually write on. There's a contents section here where you can write your page numbers and what your topics you are writing about, so you could find stuff more easily later. And then we get into the actual notebook page, and it has a place for you to write the date there. So the pages look as you might expect. There's a little bit of a thicker section up here where you might write a title or heading maybe, and then the thinner lines. I can get into some exact stats later. I think they wrote them on the back, which we'll get to. So this notebook is a slim design. Like I said, the dimensions are larger, but it's not very thick. It has a slim design. And the number of pages is, looks like 121. And it's got these two sort of ribbons or bookmarks. One is striped, one is solid color, so you can, I guess, mark different sections and find them really quickly. You can go right to the section you're working on. The last few pages are perforated so that you could easily and neatly rip them out. I don't know if I can show you that really well. It's a little hard to show you. My camera's not really resolving. But I think that's cool, and you could, for example, if you need to pass notes to a friend on something, or if you just need to be able to tear something out cleanly to share or to show, you can do that. One reason why I'm excited about the perforated pages is because I really wanted to do a pen test on the paper in this notebook before I actually start to use the notebook. I have, for example, different pens. I've got felt tip, and here's a felt tip one with 2 different sizes on it. Here's the typical uni balls, 2 different sizes. I've got Sharpies, I've got all kinds of markers and pencils. So, but I didn't want to test them on the sort of quote unquote real pages of the notebook, because then my notebook's starting off kind of already messy as I'm experimenting. So I'm thinking to test out different inks, see how they feel, see how much they bleed through on these perforated pages, and then I might keep it there to refer back to which pen looks like, you know, which has which effect, or if I don't like it, I can neatly take it out and just throw it away. So that's my plan, to figure out which kind of pen I'm going to use in here. And yes, I am getting a little OCD about this, because I'm going to try to keep this notebook as neat and tidy and good looking as I've really never had that before. My notebooks are always quite messy, and I think I'll still keep some really messy notebooks. But this is going to be, I'm going to try my best to keep this one clean. Kind of a New Year's initiative of mine in this year. What else is in here? There's some stickers supplied, so you could sort of maybe label sections. Some stickers to label the spine of the notebook. So if you end up collecting a lot of these notebooks and you want to see on the spine, you know, you're digging them out of your bookshelf, those are spine labels for the outside. In the back, there's a pocket so you can stash some things. And I actually stashed in there were some little cards that came, a little thank you card, and this little accordion fold booklet that describes the company, all the different notebooks they offer, and the stats of those notebooks, and some other little, you know, cool information. I really like this kind of thing. So I read that already. But anyways, that's it's nice to have that little pocket there. And then some of the stats on the back here, so let's summarize that. Okay, so here's the rundown on the stats. 121 numbered pages, table of contents, 8 perforated detachable sheets, expandable pocket. That pocket I showed you can fit an A4 piece of paper, that's nice. Page marker and elastic enclosure band, so those are those bookmark things, and also the band around the cover, I showed you that. Thread bound book, opens flat. I like the binding is nice, and I showed you it also lays flat. Some stickers for labeling and archiving. Here's the dimensions, 225 by 315 millimeters. That's obviously 22.5 centimeters and 31.5 centimeters. Ink proof paper, so hopefully not too much bleeding, ghosting, that sort of thing. 100 grams weight of paper, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure how to read that. Acid-free paper. So, as you can see, this is an incredibly nice notebook. I haven't started to write in it yet, but I'm sure it's going to turn out just fine. And I highly recommend that you try to get yourself a nice notebook and some other inspirational sort of stationery supplies so you can stay fired up in this new year. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer. And I'm wishing you all a great 2025. I'll see you back here in the next video.